I also wanted to talk about, because, dude, this is, I mean, you're first of all, you're a true American immigrant success story. I know you arrived here with basically nothing, and look what you've built, which is awesome. But you've also really given back with World Central Kitchen. I mean, I learned about this pretty early on, and donated, a humble brag, a few times, because I think it's such an incredible thing that you're doing. I think it started with the earthquake in 2010, right, in Haiti. I know the mission and of what you do is to feed people. Like, people need to eat in these when these natural disasters happen, and you've done it multiple times. One of the things I wanted to ask you, because I'm always curious about this, like when I've seen it on the news, you were in Puerto Rico when the hurricane was there most recently. Logistically, I go, like, when there's an earthquake and you go, I'm going to Haiti or Puerto Rico after a hurricane, and you get there, like, how logistically where do you go when you get off a plane and there's been this epic natural disaster? Like, where do you go? Where do you stay? How do you even pull this off?
It looks complicated, but it's not. I began trying to, I feed the few, and I always said I wanted to feed the many. Mm-hmm. I began working in an organization as a volunteer, peeling potatoes next to ex-convicts or homeless, or veterans that they were very much in the streets. This organization took them in, trained them to be cooks, provide them with a little salary at the beginning, a place to sleep, giving them a place to belong. In the process, they will learn a profession. In the process, they will be in charge of producing thousands of meals every day to feed the hungry in Washington, D.C. This was founded by Robert Egger, my food fighter mentor. Robert told me that charity seems is about the redemption of the giver, when charity and philanthropy should be about the liberation of the receiver. Mm-hmm. I learned a ton about how a plate of food could change the life of a community and of the people. We talk about food waste, Tom, but we are always having the wrong conversation. It's never been about food waste. It's been about not wasting people's lives. Robert Egger very much planted that seed on me. When Katrina happened, I was very young, too young. I couldn't leave my job. But I was kind of very upset to see on the news how we had thousands of Americans in an arena, in a sports arena, going hungry for days.
It's crazy.
And many things happen.
It's crazy.
You know what an arena is? People have it wrong. A stadium and arena is not a sports venue. It's actually a gigantic restaurant that entertains with the sports.
Yeah.
So I wish I could go back in time and be there. But that moment very much planted the seed on me and saying, I cannot allow this to happen. When Haiti happened, I went there with one thing in mind: to learn, to start seeing how I could be part of the solution in emergencies, feeding fellow citizens of the world. So Puerto Rico, probably, I began doing this in Haiti, and then we are very present in Haiti. We have schools, we do. But we've been going to hurricanes, the explosion in Beirut just last year. We went to Bahamas, category 5, that destroyed Abaco and Grand Bahamas, and more than 16 islands were underwater. How do we do it? It's always food around. It's always a kitchen somewhere. But more important, boots on the ground. Many organizations, everybody in business or nonprofits, everybody is planning all the time. You know what we do that is very different, and I think everybody saw this in 2020, that if you plan too much, Tom, at the end, when things don't go as planned, your teams freeze in adversity.
Yeah.
When you have the mentality of adaptation, of just rolling with the punches, adaptation wins the day over the planning.
Yeah.
Because in the planning, and they tell you, go through this road until you get to the top of the mountain. What happens if you have a very big rock in the middle of the road?
Yeah.
That people freeze. Oh, we have a rock. What do we do? Let's move the rock. Why you don't go around the rock? Why you don't go over the rock? Why you don't find another path? In our case, we adapt. And that's what we do. Why we do what we do? Because we go there with more software than hardware.
Yeah.
And with the software, which is software that is for empathy from the heart, adaptation from the brain, we are able to overcome any situation. In Bahamas, when everything was very much total destruction and nobody knew how to start helping, we landed while the hurricane still was north of the Bahamas. Technically, we couldn't even fly there, but we did fly. We got 6 helicopters, 2 seaplanes, 1 boat from Fort Lauderdale giving support to Grand Bahama, bringing 500,000 tons on every trip, 500,000 tons on every trip. Before 4 days, we were delivering every single day to hundreds of different locations, 80,000 meals every single day, Amazing. 50 medical evacuations. We were able to bring chainsaws. We were able to bring generators. We were able to bring water filtration systems for seawater. And at the end, we were an organization that technically we were not even an official organization helping the people of Bahamas. That's how we do it. That's how we roll. And quite frankly, through the years, our teams were getting more and more experience. I try to go many times when it's the very big events from the very beginning. And I always try to be next to my teams when the events are maybe not so big, but they're still. Why? Because I try to keep being there, trying to keep sharing what I learn, and try to keep learning what I don't know. And this way, we keep moving forward. We keep responding. Like in this pandemic alone, almost 50 million meals. And in the middle of all that, fires in California and Colorado, what happened, the derecho that hit Iowa and Des Moines so badly, hurricanes in Lake Charles, Louisiana, helping Honduras, Venezuela, Guatemala, and Colombia, Indonesia with an earthquake, or the last, which has been the big volcano explosion in St. Vincent. We are there within hours of that kind of event occurring. And because we are quick and fast, and we have a very clear mission, feed the hungry and bring water to the thirsty. All the team understands that, and they do whatever it takes to try to be successful. And the urgency of now for us means yesterday. So every minute we waste is 1 minute too late. We try to be next to the people as fast and as quick we can.
It's incredibly inspiring, man. It really is. Like I mean, like I said, I've read about it. I've seen it on the news. It's also one of those things where, I mean, I don't know if this sounds terrible to say, but you're always, I think when you want to be charitable and you're looking for organizations, it can be overwhelming to like see, so many, and yours resonated, I think, because I see the mission, I see what you guys are doing, and I go like, oh, I want to contribute to that. Like that's how it affected me when I first saw it. I'm like, oh, this is something that I want to get behind. I want to donate to this because, I see how the need, and I see what you guys are doing. It's really, I mean, it's inspiring, man. It really is. It motivates me. So I think it's really cool. When you get to some of the disaster zones, is there food there for you to work with immediately, or does it have to be, there is stuff there?
For example, in Bahamas, in the initial days, the destruction in the 2 big islands in the north, plus the 12th, 14th case, was very much nothing.
Yeah.
That's why I began getting helicopters, because the boats were too far away from the Nassau, the capital.
Yeah.
And the only way to do it was cooking in Nassau, which we had a great big kitchen from a hotel that helped us a lot. Atlantis, I have a restaurant there.
Yeah.
So everything helped. But those guys were amazing. They gave us every single facility. The government, the president Obama gave us a heliport, so we didn't have to be going through the main airport. So to simplify the process. But very much sometimes you need to remember one thing, Tom. Some of the bigger problems we face, they have very simple solutions. Sometimes some people, they seem to be willing just to talk about how difficult everything else. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I sincerely believe that big problems, they have very simple solutions. And we humans, we try to overcomplicate things, or at least show that, this has no solution. No. In our case, very often we know where the food is. Why? Because I'm a chef. I know every day, I know every single chef in planet Earth. And if I don't know them, they know about us. And if they don't know about us and we don't know them, at the end we connect. Why? Because we share a universal language.
Yeah.
Why? Because food people like to feed people.
Yeah.
And locals know better how to provide relief. When we went to Beirut, we got the 10 best kitchens, the 10 best chefs that in the moment we landed, they put their kitchens and their teams at the disposal of feeding the people of Beirut. We didn't feed the people of Beirut. The people of Beirut fed the people of Beirut. What we bring, obviously, is the quickness, the expertise, the wind behind the sails to say, guys, if we become one, we can do it.
Yeah.
We were doing 20,000 meals a day within 48 hours. Why? Because it's always food. It's always helpers. It's always empathy. It's always people that they say, I want to help. Some people do it in the distance with money. Some people fly on their own and they show up. They don't even tweet. They show up and like, well, Jose, I'm here. I came from Australia. And great, come and help.
Yeah.
But then we use locals better than anybody.
Sure.
We are an organization that we understand that the true power of us is that we help the locals help themselves. They help us. At the end, we become one. And that's why always we seem to find solutions to every one of the challenges that we see ahead.